Hello and welcome back. This is the 77 catalogue. We'll just have a swift look into it. Now the Duchess appears a number of times in this catalogue, looking lovely, nice and glossy there. I always thought as a child that this was going to be a glossy locomotive. I wasn't never lucky enough to have this locomotive back then, but I have obviously acquired this as time has gone by. Let's have a look, see if we can find some other pictures of it. Excuse me while I leaf through here. There we go. And there we go, we've got the model on the page there. New for 77, R.066. And you've got all that info there. So I've got another nice sort of a shiny sort of detail of it there with some men at work by the side of the rails. Let's have a quick look further ahead here at the coaches as well. I think that's the last time. Actually, no, it's on the back cover, isn't it, as well? So let me just flip through here and we'll go for the coaches. There we go. And we've got these LMS coaches. These are also new this year. We've got R433 LMS composite there. And then sitting next to it, we've got the matching brake R433. So let's have a quick glance at the back cover. I don't want to handle this catalogue more than necessary. This locomotive may appear in other places throughout the catalogue, but they're the ones I remember. So rather an impressive picture. We had that turntable on the previous layout. So we'll just have a swift look at the price list while we're at it. So it comes in as a silver seal locomotive. Here we go. So if we can retain focus on here, R.066 Duchess class, 7p new for this year. And then across there we've got that rather impressive price. I think that is at £16.35. So this catalogue, sorry, not catalogue, or price list, effective date 4th of July 77. Somebody's written a price there for £2.76 in the corner. Let's have a look at the coaches while we're at it. So we've got silver seal coaches there. And where are we? R433. See if we can get focus on there. LMS comp. New that year, £2.85, and underneath it, 434 LMS brake, new for that year, and again £2.85. So we'll put that away and dream of buying coaches and locomotives at that sort of monetary value. Although in 77 that would have been quite reassuringly expensive. So let's have a swift look over the locomotive. I don't want to overhandle it. So it isn't glossy, as we've seen. I think I mentioned that last time I showed this on the channel. I'd always thought that this was going to be glossy. It's got like a bit of a sheen on it. It's not fully matte, but it's definitely not high gloss. You can see those two lamps there. If you look at the insert picture there, you can see those. And I haven't managed to see those running on the railway. I don't think I've got enough power in it to get those to run up. You've got the nice fine wire handrail with those little plastic pegs which are pulling away from the body as well. Ooh, let's have a look underneath there while we're at it. We can see there's a little bit of what looks like plastic card in underneath there, but I think that's to stop light spread underneath. And the wheels are all lovely and smooth running. It's done hardly any work, this model. Let me see if I can turn this around. We can hear various bits of the model clanking around there, so we'll try and be reasonably careful with it. It would be a shame to do some damage to it. Just looking at it under the camera there, lovely detail across the top there. I must not try and get this too close to the camera, otherwise we lose focus altogether. I know we've got that connection there between tender and locomotive, which can be a little bit unreliable. It looks like a silver seal coach set of wheels sitting in there, doesn't it? So we'll pop that down and we'll have a quick look over the tender, and there isn't a plastic part in the valve gear there. It seems to be all metal on this occasion. I think later they shifted that little part between these two rods here. They shifted to making that in plastic. Let's pop that down there, and we'll have a look at the tender, also in really gorgeous condition. So I have changed the traction tyres again on this model. It does have a little bit of a waddle to it. But these are fresh traction tyres. I think the wheels don't appear to be bent. I don't know whether there's a slight, bend in the axle, or whether it's just because the wheels are so close together. Excuse my stomach's making a racket here. It must be getting on time for something to eat. Yeah, I think you could have had vacuum pipes. I'm not sure where the crew and vacuum pipes came with this. We'll have to have a glance in the catalogue, and there's that pin which will connect over to the locomotive, and ideally we'll make a connection and keep it all good. Let's see if we can just peel this apart and have a look on the inside of the model here. There we go. So have a swift look inside. Not too much to see in there. We've got a number down there. Is that R.067? Could be the number for the tender there. And those sort of two plugs there locate into the tender there. So our motor looks all in fairly, that's very, very bright when we do that, all in good condition. We've got the metal bearing in there instead of a plastic bearing. So I think they took that bearing out at some point, and I don't think it did the motors any favour. This is a slightly later variant of the motor, very similar to the Black 5, or one of the Black 5s we were looking at in a very recent video. So we'll pop that down and have a quick look over the coaches. I'm running out of places to put this. Let's put that there. So locomotive R.066, I think 77 to 79, and then the coaches here also 77 to 79, R433. We just saw this one in the catalogue. So fairly nice condition, quite shiny roofs. I think this one's probably the grubbiest one. It's not quite as clean as the rest of them. So I think they made many thousands of these. You've got the silver seals with the square sections there. And we do have made in Great Britain there. So we'll just grab hold of the composite. Again, made over the same time period, 77, 79, I think, getting the all-over paint finish in 1980. Model number would have changed at that point. At this point in time, I can't remember the model number. I should have written it down. I put it at the bottom of the screen. But I think maybe they went all plastic wheels as well rather than metal tyres, and possibly gaining white rims at some point, as many things did as they went through the 80s. But yeah, I think they look quite smart behind this particular locomotive. We'll just follow it around a couple of times from this side of the railway for a change. It's just passing down the near side of the station. I'm nervously looking down at my feet now to check I'm not going to walk into something. And there we've got the maroon version of the Black 5, or crimson. I'm not sure whether this livery is referred to as maroon, crimson or red. It could be either, really, couldn't it? Depending on your point of view. And in some lights it looks very milky, and it's not quite as deep and sort of contrasty as you might think. I suppose a gloss finish would achieve that. So let's see if we can get in a little bit lower here. I think we'll jump the other side in a moment. We'll get that one down from the station. We'll see if we can have both sets running around the railway. But I think probably just one more time around there. It's going to appear from the other side of the elevated track there. I think that's picking up just a little bit of pace by itself at the moment. But gorgeous looking item. I think you'd have been incredibly pleased to get hold of one of these. I'm just bumping into the table with the 3D printer now. We'll just give that one more go around, and then we'll get some level of control over it, bring it to a stop. And we'll get that other train down from the station, have both these beautiful looking maroon trains running together. Gorgeous. This time, promise, let's grab the controls. There we go. So what I want to do is bring this to a stop in the 00 station, because I can isolate it there quite happily. And it looks really good there. There we go. So let's just throw the switch on this. So that's the one with the big red arrow on it. There we have it. So we need to change a few points now. So which direction have we got this one? Yeah, so that's all, whoops, we're throwing the focus around here. So that's all good for there. But we just need to open it out at this end of the railway here. So all being well, that's going to stay exactly where it is. Sorry, the Duchess is going to stay exactly where it is. Right, so we'll change that one to straight. And then we need to make a path for it to the inner line so we can have both these items running. So curved here. And how are we doing further around the railway? Not so good, so we need to go curved down here. So grab the switch. Wrong way, obviously. There we go. So ideally, that will all work. Just checking over my shoulder. Yeah. So let's grab some control here. See if we can focus on the background there. And off she goes. Picking away along the elevated track. I'm going to have to back off the power as it comes down because it's going to want to run away. Keeping reasonable control over that. That's where the couplings like to jump over each other as it comes down and levels out. Through there, and then ideally through the crossover. A little bit of hesitation there. A little bit of crashing over there. Yeah, so we had this running in last week's video, I think. Gorgeous looking locomotive. Alright, I think we'll just bring that around. And ideally we'll stop it by the station. There we go. So if I undo the point work now, let's see if we can just finish off with a little bit of running with both of these. So straight on that one, and then excuse the spinning around quickly. We can go straight on this one. And we'll unisolate it, the Duchess. There we go. So we can get that to run out of there, but we just need to make an adjustment with the controllers now. So we need to split that into 2 railways, activate the other side, and I think we want to predominantly have control over the Duchess of Sutherland with the handheld. And we'll go inside line with the red black 5. Good plan. Let's get that to run first. Let's see if this one evens out. So in my mind everything is all set nice and correctly. Just gives us an opportunity to have a look at it running there. For the life of me, I can't remember the number of this model, but we'll put that in the bottom of the screen. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So I'll grab the controls for the Duchess of Sutherland and see if we can get both locomotives on the go together. Let's perhaps come over this side here. And oddly, we've got no power here. I can see exactly why we've got no power, because I haven't set it for running handheld. We'll have another go. Still, so far I've got the points right. This time. There we go. Looking terrific. Although I forgot a point. So we knew when I said I'd remembered all the points that we were going to have some sort of accident. So there, all back on the rails. So no more promises about remembering the points. We'll see if we can get back to having a bit of running with these two terrific looking items. So I'm going to charge down past the station here and see if we can catch it up again. And taking off a bit of power to come through here, otherwise that's just asking for trouble, storming through those points with too much power. Let's go for a roll through the station here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get out in front of that and see the lights. Let's just let that settle down there now for a moment. Seeing the lights? I don't think so. But thanks again for looking in. Hope you enjoyed the look over the Duchess of Sutherland. Definitely a model I really wanted as a child and never had at the time, but I've had this model for several years now. I think this is probably the second or third time we've had it out on the railway. Another one of those that makes you smile. I don't know whether it's just because it's something I wanted as a child or whether it's just sort of a gorgeous red looking locomotive, or maroon. But thanks again for looking in. We'll look back again next time. We'll see if we can have something else interesting from the range to have a look at. Goodbye now.